Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. All praise and glory be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the everlasting and omniscient creator. And we send our peace and blessings upon Muhammad and his holy household, and our everlasting damnation upon the enemies. Ameen Rabbal Alameen. قال الحسين بن علي عليه السلام عندما خرج من المدينة: فكأني بأوصالي تقطعها عسلان الفلوت بين النواويس وكربلاء، فيملأن مني يكراشا جوفا وأجربة شعبا، لا محيص عن يوم خط بالقلم، رضا الله رضانا آل محمد، رضانا أهل البيت، نصير على بلائه ويوفينا أجر الصابرين، ولن تشد عن رسول الله لحمته، وهو مجموعة في حظيرة القدس، تقر عينه وينهج بهم وعده، فمن كان باذلا فينا مهجته، فمن كان باذلا فينا مهجته، موطنا على لقاء الله نفسه، فليرحل معنا، فإني راحل مصبح إن شاء الله تعالى. صدق الحسين عليه السلام. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, my dearest brothers and sisters. وعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم. Concerning the tragic occasion that marks the istishhad of Sayyid al-Shuhada, Sayyid al-Khalaiq ajma'in, Al-Hussein ibn Ali arwahana lahu al-fida. Today is a very important night, especially those who wish to call themselves Khuddam al-Hussein. Today is the night in which we get a glimpse of whom Ansar al-Hussein alayhum as-salam truly are. For any brothers that may be still in the kitchen, if they're not doing anything, please, if you can hear my voice, pay attention, attend the majlis. Because Abi Abdullah alayhi salam 1400 years ago, when he said, "Ala min nasirin yansurana, ala min dhabban yudhubbu an harami Rasulullah," is there not somebody to come to our aid and protect the sacred divine maidens, the daughters of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam? There was nobody there at that time, but today Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created for him Shia that are here today, that are reviving his name in this sacred majlis. So please, through these examples that are Ansar Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, this basically comes and ties the last 2 days to a conclusion. When we spoke about Ma'rifat al-Imam, recognition of the Imam alayhi salam, when we spoke that through Ma'rifat al-Imam we can achieve true gratitude, and through true gratitude Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant us His divine bounties and divine blessings. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, that if you are to give gratitude, then I shall also give you more and more. And through these nights we understood the importance of recognition. And recognition does not mean just understanding that there's 12 Imams, there's a Prophet, there is Fatima. No, that is not enough. Recognition means that the Imam alayhi salam, when he comes for your nusra, when he comes for your help, when he asks for your aid, you rise and you just say, "Sam'an wa ta'a sayyidi." My master, I will come, I am obedient to you, I am but a slave between your hands. This is recognition and true ma'rifah. Submission, in which the Ansar al-Hussein alayhi salam reached Malakut al-Samawati wal-Ard. Ansar al-Hussein alayhi salam ascended to the heavens because of their true submission to Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salam. And why do we talk about submission and why do we talk about ma'rifah? Because we are in the time of ghaibah, and when Sahib al-Amr arwahana lahu al-fida, when he comes, he wants Ansar that have the qualities like the Ansar of Sayyid al-Shuhada. And we mentioned yesterday that As-Sadiq Ja'far ibn Muhammad alayhi salam said that our Shia are those who were created from our clay. who were mixed with our wilayah. What hurts them hurts us, and what makes them happy makes us happy. Then the Imam says, if you wish to seek us, then seek our Shia. Meaning, O Shia, you all can become a bab, a door towards the Imam, a door towards reaching the Imam alayhi salam. And that is why we talk about ma'rifah. And that is why we try to give as much examples from the lives of the Ansar, of Sayyid al-Shuhada and the other Ansar, in order that your heart reaches a point of certainty. In order that when you hear something about the Ansar, when the Imam alayhi salam comes and tells you, do this and do that, you do not question the Imam. True ma'rifah only comes with recognition of the Imam. Imam Ali alayhi salam, when he was asked by Salman and Abu Dhar, Ya Imam, what is your ma'rifah bin Nuraniyya? The recognition of the Nuraniyya, of the Anwar. There's a beautiful hadith that spans 3 pages long, in which Imam Ali alayhi salam, he begins to speak about the ma'rifah of Nuraniyya. And through this ma'rifah of Nuraniyya, the ashab of Sayyid al-Shuhada achieved ma'rifah of Nuraniyya. And through that, the ashab of Sayyid al-Shuhada, the Ansar of Sayyid al-Shuhada, Ruhi lahu al-Fida, have become eternal till today. Is there anybody else that is remembered through this much gratitude, through this grant, like Sayyid al-Shuhada? Is there anybody else on the face of earth that is remembered like the Ansar of Hussein alayhi salam? Leave Banu Hashim aside. Leave Abbas alayhi salam aside. Leave them aside. We are here to speak about the Ansar of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, whom are people like us, whom gave what they had most precious in order that they serve Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Imam al-Hussein, what did he say? He says, "Man kana badilan fina muhjatuhu, muwattinan ala liqa'illahi, nafsuhu falyarhal ma'ala, fa inni rahilun muslihun insha'Allah." The Imam alayhi salam says, and he who wishes to give his muhjah to us. What is al-muhjah? Al-muhjah can be described as this. What is the most precious thing you guys have today? Your blood that flows through your veins. The blood is composed of different levels as well. There is blood that is corrupt in your body, that the body keeps on getting rid of. And there is blood that is important for your sustenance and nourishment. And that is the blood that revolves around your heart. That is the blood that pumps in your heart. In essence, the Imam is saying, he who wishes to give his soul, then let him come with us. The Imam alayhi salam, when he went to Medina, he told them time and time again, which is why when you left Medina, do you know that with the Imam alayhi salam, there were thousands of Ansar? By the time he reached Karbala, the night before Karbala, there were hundreds of Ansar. And on the eve of Ashura, there was only 72 Ansar. Because why? Most of them thought that the Imam is going to go towards bounties and worldly pleasures and desires. No, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam said, I'm going towards death. I'm going towards sacrifice. This battle will only bring me death and sacrifice. So Abi Abdullah, he says here, if he who gives his muhjah, he who wants to give his life for us, then let him prepare himself to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And through meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will gain ultimate bounty, the divine bounties. Let us quickly narrate some pointers from the hadith of the Imam ibn Nuraniyya. What does he say, the Imam alayhi salam, Ali, to Abu Dhar and Salman alayhum as-salam? He says, إِنَّهُ لَا يَسْتَكْمِلْ أَحَدًا الْإِيمَانِ حَتَّى يَعْرَفَنِي كُنْهُ مَعْرِفَتِي بِالنُّورَانِيَّةِ فَإِذَا عَرَفَنِي بِهَذِهِ الْمَعْرِفَةِ فَقَدْ امْتَحَنَ اللَّهُ قَلْبَهُ لِلْإِيمَانِ عَلَيْكُمُ السَّلَامُ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, and he who wishes to know me, truly know me, have cognizant understanding and ma'rifah of me, recognition, then he must know me by my true form, my nuraniyya, the anwar of my Muhammad. That's the first thing you should know. Then he says, and he who reaches this martaba of ma'rifah, he says, فَقَدْ امْتَحَنَ قَلْبَهُ لِلْإِيمَانِ. The hadith continues, and then Abu Dhar and Salman, they ask Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. He says, they say, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. He wants to, I'm giving you an example, and then we'll begin straight into the nusus that talk about Sayyid al-Shuhada's companions. We don't want to waste any time today. He says, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, من المؤمن وما نهايته وما حده حتى أعرفه. Abu Dharr and Salman ask the commander of the faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib al-Fida, and they say to him, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, give me the characteristics of the believer. What are his limits? What are such and such, that I may understand what a true believer is, so that I may be part of the mu'mineen, الذي امتحن قلبه للإيمان, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has tried for belief and found them to be successful believers. The Imam says this, take this to heart and believe in this. He says, قال المؤمن الممتحن هو الذي لا يرد من أمرنا إليه شيء إلا شرح صدره وقلبه. The true believer whom is tried with belief is the one who, when we give him something, we command him with something, he obeys. He's in complete submission. Ashab al-Hussein alayhi salam, Ansar al-Hussein, were they amongst الَّذِينَ امْتَحَنَ اللَّهُ قَلْبَهُمْ لِلْإِيمَانِ or not? Let me ask you that question. Are they or not? Yes, of course they were. And it was for that reason they gave the most precious thing to them. There's a hadith of Dawood alayhi salam. Prophet Dawood begins to speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he says, Ya Rab, every malik, every sultan has a treasury. لِكُلِّ سُلْطَانٍ treasury. Every sultan has a treasury. He says, Ya Dawood, my treasury is this. The nas is like this. I have a treasury greater than the throne, wider than the chair, more pleasurable than paradise, more decorative than the angels. Its grounds, the ground of this treasury is recognition, and its skies are iman, belief. Its rain is mercy, and trees, obedience. Its fruits are wisdom, and it has 4 doors. The 4 doors are knowledge, forbearance, patience, and submission. And then at the end of the hadith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Dawood that this treasury is the heart. The greatest treasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Akbar khizanatan lillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. The heart. The Ansar of Sayyid al-Shuhada gave this away for Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Which is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made their dhikr till today. And even on the day of judgment, and even in paradise, in the barzakh, in every single alam, every single universe, the dhikr of Sayyid al-Shuhada will continue. It's eternal. It's eternal. As long as there lies belief, alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah. As long as there lies belief, iman, there lies the dhikr of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, because Rasulullah said, حَرَارَةً فِي قُلُوبِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ لَا تَطْفَأُ أَبَدًا. The dhikr of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein is a burning torch in the hearts of the believers. So as long as there is belief, alaykum as-salam, as long as there is belief, and we know that iman is eternal until the end, Allahu A'lam, meaning paradise, day of judgment, which means that the dhikr of Sayyid Shuhada will continue and continue and continue. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, insha'Allah, Allah will be the one to give us the majlis on the day of judgment. Allah will be the one who will read the masab of Sayyid al-Shuhada to all of creation. Because the masib of Sayyid al-Shuhada a'zam al-musibah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Our time is very limited and there's many examples. I'm going to give you some names, and I wish for you guys to go check out some of these names. The first of these names is a companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was named as Amin Rasulullah, the secretary of Rasulullah. Rasulullah says that for every prophet there lies a secretary, and my secretary is Abu Rafi'. I want you guys to please go with about Abu Rafi', this Sahabi who was with Rasulullah in all of his wars, who attended every single war of Rasulullah, who attended the wars with Amir al-Mu'min alayhi salam, and he died an old age. Please go read about Abu Rafi' so you understand a little bit. I have no time today. I wish I can tell you about Abu Rafi'. Another day, inshallah. I'm giving you this and I want you to go read. The second example that I want to talk about, the first companion of Sayyid al-Shuhada. Some of you may have heard of this man. Some of you may not have heard of this man. His name is Anas ibn Khalil Al-Asadi or Al-Asdi. This man is truly Majnoon for Hussein. This man is truly insane for Abi Abdullah. This man truly has submission to Abi Abdullah alayhi salam and to the Prophet. This man is the first Karbala'i. This man is the first person to come to Karbala. This man waited 40 to 50 years for Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salam. Why? Why? Because he says, one day I heard Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam say, إن ابن الحسين هذا يقتل في أرض تقال لها كربلاء فمن نصره كان معنا في الدرجات العليا. That's all. Anas, who was recorded in Ziyarah al-Nahi al-Muqaddasa. Anas, who said that I heard Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam say one day to me, while Abi Abdullah al-Hussein was on his lap, that my son Hussein will be killed in a land called Karbala, and whoever comes to his aid will be with us in paradise. This man who has complete ma'rifah of Rasulullah knows Rasulullah does not ينطق عن الهوى إن هو إلا وحي يوحى. Rasulullah only speaks out of revelation. This man left everything in Medina and set up a tent in Karbala and waited and waited and waited so he could be the first person to greet Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam when he reached Karbala. Why? Because he said, maybe, لَعَلَّهُ, when Abi Abdullah's call for aid will come, I might be busy. لَعَلَّهُ, I might be in a different part of the city, I might not make it. لَعَلَّهُ, maybe it won't come to me, it come to me late, and I miss my chance of eternal happiness and salvation. Anas, that's one example. Go read more about Anas. He was a Sahabi. He was an old man. He was approximately 92 years old in Karbala. 92 years old. There is no excuse for not joining Hussein alayhi salam after Hussein alayhi salam asked for help. 90 years old. He was so old that his eyelids fell onto his eyes. He could not see, so he had to pull them up in battle. هذه النماذج النورانية. These are the examples that you look at. He had to tie his back because he had a hunchback. When Abi Abdullah looks at him, he begins to cry. He tells him, you're too old, it's okay, you can leave. He's like, I will not leave until they cut me into pieces. These are the examples that you should put here in your hearts. These are the examples that should increase your iman, insha'Allah. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The next example, write this down, Abdullah ibn Abi Afif, or Abdullah ibn Afif. His story is also special, and his story happened after the Maqtal al-Hussein alayhi salam. And like I said, if time permits us in the coming nights, we will read the Maqtal of Abdullah ibn Abi Afif, who was granted Shahada, even though it was the Shahada of the Ansar, but he was still granted Shahada. Because I want to go straight to the Ansar now. I want to go straight to Ibn Mudahar. Tonight, the narrator are these papers, and you are the listeners, and through your minds, I want you to picture everything that goes on in these papers. That's all I have for you today. I want you to take these images in your head and the actions of these people and learn from these people. We cannot become close to Banu Hashim or Ahlul-bait alayhim as-salam, so Allah gave us these examples. Insha'Allah, we reach the slaves of these people, insha'Allah. Or maybe the dust under their feet, insha'Allah. Habib ibn Mudahar. He was, you can call him the commander of the Ansar. Whereas Al-Abbas alayhi salam was the commander of Banu Hashim. I'm going to read you the exact nusus here, without adding and subtracting. Yesterday night, I was thinking, I began to translate some of these nusus from Asar al-Shahada and other maqatil. And I'm like, it's not fair that I narrate what I know about these people from memory. It's not fair for them. The nas is what I should narrate. Habib ibn Mudahar. And I'm going to start with Habib alayhi salam when he was in Kufa before he left to Karbala. Listen, please listen. He says, and this starts when Imam Hussein alayhi salam reached close to Karbala, somewhere close to Kufa alaykum salam. It says this happened before his arrival, Habib's arrival, by a short period of time. The Imam was on his way to Kufa and he had set up tents and had set up 12 banners, giving one to Abu Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam and giving the rest of the banners to the Ansar, but then there was one banner left. One of the companions of the Imam said, "O Master, give me this banner, I will strike the chest of the enemies with it." Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam said, "Blessed you are, but this banner is for that man that will thrust the chest, not strike the chest. And he is also the one who recognizes," again, ma'rifah, the one who recognizes it truly and possesses complete cognizance, haqqul ma'rifah. Alaykum as-salam. The man said, "Who is that, my master?" Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam said, "Be patient, for he will come." And this is when Hussein alayhi salam wrote his letter towards Habib, and he sent his messenger towards Habib. Now, go to Kufa, my dear brothers. Let's go to Kufa. The wife of Habib, who was one of the main things that pushed Habib, by the way. Inshallah, we will have a night, if Allah blesses us, where we talk about the Ansar of Hussein, from the pure ladies that pushed these men. These pure ladies are the perfect examples for our sisters, inshallah. The wife of Habib had seen As-Siddiqa Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam in her dreams. And she was saying, "Inform Habib that he must stain his beard." So she told Habib, and Habib said, "What honor, O Allah?" And this is from Sayyidatul Nisa. Habib thought by stain his beard, as in, "Ukhdab lahyatak," as in go paint it with henna. He never knew it meant something else. And you'll see what happens after. Habib, it says, he departed to the bazaar and met with Muslim ibn Awsaja. And he was preparing his sword and chainmail. He asks him about the news and he informs him that the Kufans have gathered to wage war against the Imam. Muslim informs Habib alayhi salam. He throws the henna that was in his hand and he ran back to his home and he said, "By God, the only thing that will stain this beard is the blood from my head." He ran back home to his wife. That night, alaykum as-salam, that night he was eating with his wife and suddenly the wife choked on when she was eating and she said, "God is great, Allahu Akbar. In this hour, the letter of the Imam will arrive." While they were talking, the messenger had come and knocked the door. Habib came out and the messenger informed him that this letter is from the Imam. Habib said, "By Allah, the free lady was truthful in her statement." Before he opens the letter, what does Habib do? He kisses the letter, places it on his eyes, and then begins to read it. Look at what Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam says to Habib ibn Mudahir. He says to him, from al-Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib to the learned faqih Habib ibn Mudahir. "Furthermore, O Habib, you surely recognize and know our ties with the Messenger of Allah. And know that no one knows us more than you. You are of high character and possess outstanding moral qualities. Zealousy and do not be greedy with your soul as a sacrifice to the Prophet, and the Prophet will reward you on the Day of Judgment." And then Habib rides towards Karbala, and then when he came close to Karbala, it says that they saw smoke arising, and then right away they knew it was Habib. Habib fell from his horse and he said to Abi Abdullah alayhi salam, "Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah." And the part we want to arrive to here is Zainab alayhi salam heard that Habib arrived. When Zainab heard that Habib arrived, she said, "Send my salams to Habib. Send my salams to Habib. Send my greetings to Habib ibn Mudahir. And then Habib ibn Mudahir said, who am I? Who am I? That Zaynab alayhi salam sends salams to me. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? He begins to hit his cheek and throw dust on his head, and he says, who am I that Zaynab alayhi salam sends my salams, sends her salams to me? On the eve of Ashura, Imam Hussein alayhi salam wanted to test his companions. Listen to the Imam alayhi salam. He says, death is certain, no bounties from this war. Whoever detests our aid, then he should flee now. And then it is said that the Imam alayhi salam said, I glorify Allah with the most perfect glorification, and I praise Him in His happiness and misfortune. Oh Allah, I praise You for these blessings, for blessing us with prophethood, teaching us the Quran and making us understand the religion. You have given us hearing, sight and hearts, have made us amongst those who give thanks to You. I know of no companions more loyal and more virtuous than my companions, not of a household more pious and more close-knit than my household. May Allah reward you all on my behalf. Indeed, I do not think that there will be any further days left to us by these men. I permit you to leave me. All of you, go away with the absolution of your oath to follow me, for there will be no further obligation on you from me. This is the night, اتخذه جملا, take it as a camel and ride towards the night. It says that the companions rose and they began to say, from amongst them, for example, Abdullah ibn Muslim ibn Aqil, he says, O son of the Messenger of Allah, what will the people say about us? They will say, we betrayed our elder, master, our uncle's son, the son of the master of the prophets. They will say, did you not strike alongside him with your swords or spears? By Allah, no, we will not do such a thing, but in fact ransom you with our lives, souls and blood before your blood. Only if we do such a thing, we would have fulfilled your rights. And then Muslim ibn Awsaj arises. He says, we leave you like this and depart while the enemy has surrounded you from every corner. May God never show me such a thing. By Allah, I will stab them in the chest until my spear breaks. Strike them with my sword as long as the hilt is in my hand. If I have no weapon to fight them, I will throw stones at them. By Allah, we will never leave you until Allah knows that we have preserved through you the company of His apostle in his absence. By Allah, if I knew that I would die and be revived 70 times, then burnt, then be revived again, then I would never leave you, O Sayyid al-Shuhada. The same thing happens. Rose Sa'id ibn Abdullah, then Zuhair, then all the companions began to rise. Then what happened here is that Zaynab alayhi salam was informed that the companions, was informed by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, was informed by Hussein alayhi salam, that she told them, Oh Hussein, did you test your companions? He said, yes, I tried them with fear, I tried them with affliction, and I found that there are no companions like my companions. What's happened here? After the companions rode to battle, and every single one of these companions died, and Abi Abdullah alayhi salam was left alone in Karbala. Unfortunately, there's much more to say about these companions. There's much more to say about Habib and the companions, but unfortunately time is not on our side. And the main blessing of the majlis is the musibah of the majlis. There's a report that is narrated by one of the a'lam. It says, Al-Marhum Thiqat al-Islam al-Nuri al-Mazandarani narrates the following incident. Please pay close attention to how hard and difficult it was for Sayyid al-Shuhada when he had to say goodbye to Zaynab, when he had to say goodbye to Kulthum, when he had to say goodbye to his family members. This man narrates a story. He says, when I was in Karbala, Al-Allama Al-Majlisi was in the Haram of Sayyid Al-Shuhada, and he was giving a lecture. And during that night, he saw this in his dream. He saw this in his dream that Allama Al-Majlisi was in the Haram of Sayyid Al-Shuhada, and he was giving a lecture, and he was reading the Musibah of Sayyid Al-Shuhada. All of a sudden, listen, all of a sudden a man came from the Haram, and he said, Al-Fatimatu Zahra tells you, O Majlisi, to make sure you narrate when Abi Abdullah Al-Hussein alayhi salam said goodbye to his Haram. Because وَمَا أَشَدُّ يَوْمًا عَلَى الْحُسَيْنِ, there is not a day greater than Hussein alayhi salam than when he had to say goodbye to Zainab and Kulthum and Ruqayya and Sakina and the pure maidens. What's happened during that time? Abi Abdullah alayhi salam, after seeing all of his companions, picture Mawlakum al-Hussein alayhi salam standing in the hot plains of Karbala, looking to the left, looking to the right. Ayn Habib? Ayn Zuhair? Ayn Qamar Bani Hashim? Where are you, Fadl Abbas? Where is Muslim? Where are my companions? ألا من ناصر ينصرنا ألا من ذاب يذب عن حرم رسول الله. لبيك يا حسين. لبيك يا أبا عبد الله. And of course, he knew this is the end. This is the time where I have to go say goodbye to the maidens and tell them what is to befall them after me. And then he says right here, وذكروا أرباب المقاتل لما رأى الحسين عليه السلام مصارع فتيانه وأنصاره وأحبته من أهل بيته عزم على لقاء القوم ثم جعل ينادي هل من راحم يرحم آل رسول الله هل من ناصر ينصر ذريته الطاهرة البتول ثم التفت إلى الخيمة ونادى يا سكينة يا فاطمة ويا أم كلثوم عليكن مني السلام. Abi Abdullah Al-Hussein, my dear brothers and my dear sisters, picture the following. He came to the khayma of the pure maidens and he said to them, أو سكينة أو رقية أو فاطمة. The hadith says, ثم التفت إلى الخيمة فقال هذا آخر الاجتماع وقد قرب منكن الافتجاع فعلت أصواتهن بالبكاء وصحنا وحسينا الفراق فنادته سكينة قالت يا أبتا أراك استصلأت للموت قال عليه السلام يا نور عيني كيف لا يستسلم للموت من لا ناصر له ولا معين ورحمة الله ونصرته لا تفارقكم في الدنيا والآخرة فاصبري على قضاء الله ولا تشكي فإن الدنيا فانية والآخرة باقية. قالت ردنا إلى حرم جدنا رسول الله فقال فبكى الحسين عليه السلام وضمها إلى صدره ومسح الدموع عن عينها وأنشأ يقول سيطول بعدي يا سكينة فاعلمي منك البكاء إذ الهمام دهاني لا تحركي قلبي بدمعك حسرة ما دام مني الروح في جثماني فإذا قتلت فأنت أولا أولى بالذي تأتيه يا خيرة النسوان. Abi Abdullah Al-Hussein alayhi salam told Sakina and told Kulthum and Zainab, these are my last moments, and after me Ibn Ziyad and the army of Umar ibn Sa'ad will take you as captives. They will take you through Kufa. They will humiliate you, O pure maidens. Sakina alayhi salam, after hearing this from Abi Abdullah Al-Hussein, began to cry. Sakina said, Ya Aba Abdullah, I see as if you have submitted yourself to death. Abi Abdullah alayhi salam says, yes, how can I not submit myself to death when I have nobody to aid me, and nobody to protect me, and nobody to protect you. After this, my dear brothers and sisters, Zainab alayhi salam began to look at Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. And when Zainab alayhi salam brought him his horse, brought him his sword, brought him his chainmail, Zainab alayhi salam looked at him and began to cry. Abi Abdullah alayhi salam began to ride. And then as soon as he began to ride, he said to her, Mahlan, Mahla. يا ابن الزهراء مهلا مهلا يا ابن الزهراء. Zainab alayhi salam tells Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, my brother, wait, oh Hussein, let me yearn for you, let me kiss you, let me hug you, let me hug you, oh Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. Zainab alayhi salam came and she hugged her brother and she began to cry and she kissed him on everywhere where Ash-Shimr al-La'in will cut off his head and all the other points on his body. And Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam rode into battle.